Welcome back to the channel Rare X Coins to our journey into the fascinating history of the 1965 $1 era in United States coinage. In this video article, we explore how the historic asterisk changed the future of American coins, ending the traditional use of silver and introducing a new chapter in modern currency. You'll discover the background, historical importance, and collector value connected to coins from this transitional period. If you love rare coins and hidden treasures, this story will help you understand why the year 1965 remains so important in the world of numismatics. The 1965 $1 coin is an interesting and important part of United States coinage history. Although the United States did not release a circulating silver dollar specifically dated 1965, the year itself marked a turning point in American coin production because of a major change in the metal composition used in coins. During the early 1960s, the price of silver was rising rapidly, and the government became concerned that people would begin hoarding coins for their silver content. To prevent this, the U.S. government introduced the Coinage Act of 1965, which changed how American coins were made and had a lasting impact on the coin market. Before 1965, many U.S. coins, including dimes, quarters, and half dollars, contained a high percentage of silver. However, the Coinage Act removed silver from dimes and quarters and reduced it in half dollars. While dollar coins were not produced for circulation that year, collectors often associate the year 1965 with the transition period that eventually led to later dollar coins, such as the Eisenhower dollar in the early 1970s. Because of this historical connection, 1965 remains a very important year in the story of U.S. dollar coins. During the early 1960s, the United States faced a serious coin shortage. Many people were saving silver coins instead of spending them because the metal inside them was becoming more valuable. As a result, the government had to produce large numbers of coins quickly to keep commerce moving. The changes introduced in 1965 allowed the U.S. Mint to produce coins using copper-nickel clad metal instead of silver, making production cheaper and discouraging hoarding. Another interesting feature of coins from 1965 to 1967 is that the U.S. Mint temporarily removed mint marks. Normally, American coins display a letter showing where they were minted, such as D for Denver or S for San Francisco. However, during the coin shortage, mint marks were removed to prevent collectors from hoarding coins from specific mints. This makes coins from this period unique in American numismatic history. Even though a standard $1 coin dated 1965 was not issued for everyday circulation, collectors sometimes refer to 1965 when discussing transitional coinage and experimental pieces created by the U.S. Mint. These experimental coins helped the mint test new metal compositions that would later be used in circulating coins. Such experimental pieces are extremely rare and highly valuable if they appear in auctions or private collections. When discussing value, coins connected with the 1965 transition period can sometimes be worth more than their face value, depending on rarity, condition, and collector demand. Ordinary coins from that era may only be worth a few dollars, but rare experimental pieces or coins with unusual minting errors can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars in the collector market. The value of any collectible coin depends heavily on its condition, which is graded on a scale used by professional grading services. Coins that are uncirculated and have sharp details usually command the highest prices. If a rare transitional or experimental coin from around 1965 were discovered in perfect condition, it could potentially attract significant attention from collectors and investors. Collectors also look for minting errors when evaluating coins from the mid-1960s. Errors such as double strikes, off-center designs, or incorrect metal compositions can make a coin far more valuable than a normal example. Because the mint was changing production techniques during this time, some unusual coins occasionally appeared. The year 1965 is also historically important because it represents the moment when the United States began moving away from traditional silver coinage. For more than a century, silver had been a major component of American coins. The shift to clad coinage marked the end of an era and changed how coins were produced and collected. Many coin collectors study the mid-1960s carefully because transitional years often produce rare varieties and unusual minting mistakes. These varieties can sometimes remain unnoticed for years until a collector discovers them in circulation or in an old coin collection. The popularity of coin collecting increased during the 1960s as people realized that older silver coins were disappearing from circulation. This led many individuals to start saving coins from the period, hoping they might increase in value in the future. Professional numismatists often consider the mid-1960s one of the most fascinating periods in American coin history. The economic pressures, the removal of silver, and the temporary elimination of mint marks all contributed to a unique moment in the development of modern U.S. coinage. Today, collectors who study coins from around 1965 often compare them with earlier silver coins and later clad coins. This comparison helps illustrate how dramatically the composition and appearance of U.S. coins changed during that decade. The influence of the Coinage Act continued for many years after 1965. The law shaped the design and composition of coins for future generations, and its effects can still be seen in the coins used in everyday transactions today. If a rare prototype or experimental dollar coin dated 1965 were ever discovered, it could potentially be worth a significant amount at auction. Rare coins from transitional periods often attract strong interest because they represent important historical moments. Coin auctions sometimes feature unusual coins from the 1960s, especially pieces connected with the transition away from silver. These coins can sell for impressive prices depending on their rarity and historical importance. For beginners in coin collecting, studying the year 1965 can provide valuable insight into how economic conditions influence coin design and production. It also shows how government decisions can change the materials used in everyday currency. Another factor affecting value is collector demand. If many collectors are searching for coins from a particular year or historical period, prices can rise quickly. Coins associated with major changes in the U.S. monetary system often become especially popular. The story of the 1965 $1 era also highlights the role of innovation at the U.S. Mint. Engineers and designers had to develop new techniques and materials to keep coins durable while reducing production costs. In summary, while there was no widely circulated U.S. dollar coin dated 1965, the year remains extremely important in the history of American currency. The introduction of the Coinage Act of 1965 changed the metal composition of coins and marked the transition from traditional silver coinage to modern clad coinage. For collectors and historians, the events of 1965 represent a major turning point that reshaped the future of United States coins. Coins connected with this period continue to fascinate collectors, and rare examples can still appear in collections and auctions, sometimes bringing surprising values in the numismatic market.